When we get up to the midheaven, it's your status and career. It's your honor. It's your respect in terms of others. It's your place in the world. And there's a social integrity. If I say I'm going to do a job, I'll finish it. If I can accomplish them, if I can accomplish works, you might hire me. You might be glad to work with me because I'm not making it harder for you. I can do things. So your status, your place of honor or respect is your midheaven. More often it's a place of disrespect, not quite so much honor. I almost got there. I'm not as high as I should be. I got there. And we often accept a small mountain, a small little molehill or hill rather than climb the mountain. We'll only get up as high as we've made the effort to come from below. So we come out of, everyone comes out of their last night's sleep on their home and they push things out in the world. How much did you get done? What did you do today? What were you good for? Did you accomplish something today? Work and accomplishment is a very important thing of feeling one's part of the world. So anything that comes up here will affect your functioning out in the world and your integrity out in the world. But that, just as the IC was how you're taking things in and then projecting them, the MC is how you project it up to be the position you're in and how other people are going to respond to it. So there's a projection up to the midheaven, then they're responding to other people's demands after. So I can really work really well. I can achieve something, then other people need me to do those accomplishments and they pay me for it. It works well. I get the respect for my position. I project out to become the doctor. Other people come to see me and I'm responding to their needs. I'm efficient. I get paid for it. I get good feedback. I get respect. But the midheaven's right in the middle of it between where the position you got to, that you actually hold, what you've accomplished, where you've gotten to, and how other people recognize it. You can think you got in the right position and other people may not give you that position. Or you can get into a place of power. You ever worked for a boss that wasn't capable and was blaming everyone else or dumping it, using everyone else to hide behind him and was not really capable of directing people properly or coaching a team properly? Whoa, how do you get rid of them? Not until things fail. And everyone knows then. So some of this is your honor as you're building things up. Will you do it honestly? Will you do it with friends? Will you do it with enemies, good or bad people? What will you accomplish? How far will you take things? How much will you do? What are you good for? And what are you good for out there? You can only go as far out as you've been motivated deeply within. So somebody can have all their planets above the horizon and they're really motivated to be outwardly, and they don't pay as much attention to below the horizon in their personal motivation. So they often accomplish much, but then they've diminished their personal character, which is below the horizon, by what they've done. They have run the meat packing plant for the last 20 years. Been a good business, helped took up the family, bottom up and everything. And yet at the same time, it may not matter to a lot of people, but it's a meat packing point. There's just different points of response, how you live with yourself. Do you steal? Do you kill? Do you what? All the things you can do out in the world that affect other people's lives. Are you a positive or negative influence? Are you a high maintenance that demand a lot of other people? Or are you not what's coming in from other people affecting the midheaven? It's like it's out there at work and status, career, how you run into authority, how you can manage your own authority, your ambition, what you can live up to. Saturn is all of this, but this is the position. And so many things in your chart affected and transits affected, progressions affected. Your status in life is always being challenged and changing, but you have your take on it. So if the moon hits it, family, home, mother are going to affect your status. The work. Some moon factor is going to come in and cause stress around what you're doing. So someone could be very accomplished, but they're always a little sloppy, or someone might have really super, like someone might work in a restaurant, or someone might do something with a family, or there's going to be domestic things and personal habits that affect one's status or cause problems for it. The moon, family, habits, and the memory. So memories and reminding things of the past will really affect the midheaven. It's the moon. Well, if the past is going to be affecting the midheaven, If you've gotten your job and you haven't lived a good past, you can be afraid of the past coming up for anyone to know what you used to do. Common factor, like we all have this to some degree or another. That's the moon. But it's Mercury, the ability to reflect, it can be used as a tool to work with, but it also can interfere. There'll be a struggle with it. You're told something to do and you're remembering, well, I could have done this, but that happened, or but this happened, or some other personal inadequacy or adequacy came in to affect that. If it's Mercury, if Mercury's conjunct, oppose, or square the midheaven, like if it's Mercury's up high, it's really going to reinforce working with the midheaven. If it's down low, it's going to be thinking what I need to do in spite of what I have to do out there. What do I need for me? What am I thinking about? So the thoughts about integrity, about what I'm doing. So Mercury conjunct square opposed to midheaven creates mental puzzles or stress from the mind and the plans and the ideas and how you're thinking in terms of career. So when it's going good, you got very strong thoughts of what you're doing and be putting your authority out on others. If it's not working well, you could be really worrying and thinking, putting that out. So right thinking becomes a very important thing for Mercury affecting the midheaven, affecting your status, what to talk about, what to communicate, how to express yourself, what you think is going on. Whew. Facebook, computers, virtual reality, everybody's thinking about what they think is going on, and hardly anybody knows how to hug somebody or smile at somebody. Okay, so the sun coming up there, it adds confidence and arrogance. It's going to be purpose. I have to do this. It's purposely. I have to build up this career. I have to be proud of what I'm doing. This is my thing. I'm working to make it. I'm proud of this. And if you're not proud of it, it's going to, if someone says, threatens your pride or your self-esteem around what you're doing or puts it down, it's going to affect you big time. At the same time, your arrogance could affect people you work with. That sun. Basically, it's supposed to be noble work and making the effort to do the noble way and to be creative and confident. A job well done will take effort. Okay, throw your heart in. If it's Mars affecting the midheaven, it's going to be more aggressive. It's competitive. I've got to force, there are going to be run-ins with authority. It's almost like you're dealing with Saturn, but Saturn's the function. This point of status, you're projecting up to Mars. You're pushing to get up there. When you get up there, it's like all the caterpillars are climbing up the post to see who gets on top, and they're climbing over each other trying to get where they're going. And when you finally get to the top, one's turned into a butterfly and is flying away. But all the rest of the caterpillars are still climbing over each other. So kind of like business or status, what you do. So Mars is going to put fights, blocks, angers, rages, competitions, great successes. This program, let's go for this project. Let's make this happen. This drive to do things is going to be on the midheaven. So you're going to be pushing around career. You're going to be forcing to, you're going to be ambitious. You're going to be trying to do things. And you're not going to want to be held back or have a boss tell you to do less than you should do. You're going to want to prove things. So you're going to make the effort, extra effort. You're going to push your Mars to push yourself for career. I got to have this job. I got to improve it. I got to do more. It'll be pushing that status. And as it's pushing that status, it's also squaring your IC. Can I really keep doing this? You're not really motivated because as you're using the midheaven, you're burning out the IC. Like it's a challenge to integrate these two sides. What you have to do in the outer world, what you have to do to get a good night's sleep. So so in Jupiter, you're going to go on opportunities, the joviality, exaggeration, understanding. Here's an opportunity, there's an opportunity, and not all opportunities are of the same goodness or badness. You can exaggerate, you can get into understanding or misunderstandings around career, around exaggerating. You're sure you should go for something. Oh, I'm not sure. You're like, oh, you shouldn't do that. And so here on the midheaven, the understanding of Jupiter, it affects your status and how you relate to other people and how other people think and how you integrate this. Do you do it right or not? And how you play the game. So it's important to understand, because if something goes wrong, everybody's going to know. But what if something goes right? Everyone will know. Your sense of status, how many successes or failures have you had? How much do people know? If you never make the effort at all, you'll never get anywhere. But this is out in the business world, out in the status. I mean, status could be, you have your home, you have your kids, and you're paying for the rent. You got a job that's paying for it. That's great. If you're not quite paying for it, or it causes different challenges at different levels of respect. So Jupiter has too many opportunities, and you have to sift through which ones are right or wrong. Saturn is going to come in, and it's going to make it serious and ambitious, but nothing's ever good enough. I have to work hard to get there. I'm going to be disciplined. When you're in power, you're going to be disciplined and authority and serious and not sensitive to other people. The image of your relationship to your dad is your image of your relationship to a boss, and also the image of how you will likely be in authority. Even though you may say, I'm going to be totally different than your dad, you'll probably be strict enough to have another take on it. So each planet, its aspects, its nature, how each planet has its situation, the sign, it has its attitude by sign, has its circumstance by houses. That's the main thing. And that planet and that circumstance is going to be affecting that midheaven and determining what you work at and what you shouldn't work at. You can't run away from it. You got it. If you got the Saturn there, you're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to be ambitious. You're going to have to put the extra time in. And you might settle for a long-term steady job. It's better than being depressed about not having any, but you may have difficulty getting promotions without really achieving or put a lot of time in. If you accomplish your work well, you could be really respected and accomplished. But then you live so formally, it adds a conservative element. It adds a defensive element. Most people really successful are living in gated communities. Donald Trump probably has only lived in his own properties and lives in his own places. He doesn't even travel around outside of being in his own places all his life. He's like this Rapunzel in a tower. It's out of touch with where a lot of people, where most people are. He has his sun and a lot of things up in the 10th house towards his midheaven.